Welcome back, everyone. As you probably guessed from the intro and the title, we're going over this firearm right here. This is the Stoeger STR-9. This is the full-size version. They make a number of different variants of this firearm, and I've actually seen quite a number of reviews of it online. Despite its price point, folks generally have pretty positive things to say about it. And that definitely is a selling point of this gun for sure. Just right up front is price point, and then that it is very Glock-esque, if you will. It is not Glock clone compatible in terms of parts, magazines, etc. But it definitely, some of the parts will work, like the trigger shoe will work. There's a few parts that will, but the vast majority will not. A lot of the holsters will work. So that, again, is the selling point along with the price point. Now, I don't know anyone over at Stoeger, so I reached out to our friends over at Botash Tactical to see if they'd send one out for review, because they sell a ton of them over there on their site, and they agreed to do so. So that's how we got this gun in. So big thank you to them. And I suppose with that, let's just go through the gun piece by piece, walk through it, and then of course talk about the reliability and all of those sorts of things at the end. So first off, it does take proprietary magazines. So the standard one that comes with this model is going to be the 15 rounder. It's steel. I believe it's actually made in-house over there by Stoeger. For folks who don't know, Stoeger is actually owned by Beretta. So they have an immense facility. They make a ton of different guns. They make military weapons as well as small arms like this one here over in Turkey. So it's a huge company. So making your own magazines isn't really all that hard for a company like that, but they are, as far as I know, only compatible with STR-9 magazines. I think it's probably not the best decision on their part, but it is what it is. They're relatively inexpensive, though, if you guys want to pick these up. They also offer standard capacity 20-round mags that fit flush in there as well. So there are options if you guys want extra mags. Unfortunately, this particular model, when I picked it up from the factory, comes in just a cardboard box, which is perfectly acceptable with me, but with only one magazine. So if you want extras, you have to order it. They also offer a package that is optics ready. They also offer a package that has 3 mags in the box. So I guess pick whichever one you want to go with, but magazines definitely seem of good quality. They're very tight though on the way in, which is interesting. So there's not a lot of wiggle room there. If you miss your reload, there is some flaring there on the mag well, but basically, like, once you get here, if you come in at any angle, they do bind. So you definitely have to go straight in when reloading guns, so just keep that in mind. Continuing on up, the back straps are interchangeable. Again, this is like the budget SKU that I have right here. So it just comes with their medium back strap, but you can buy them online. I think they're like $9.99 if you want a larger or smaller one. It has good texturing on the back. That's definitely the best texture part of the gun that we're going to talk about throughout the video. This backstrap is fantastic. It's really the only thing, in my opinion, that is actually sticking to your hand when you're firing. Now, as I'm filming this right now, it's in the mid 90s, and it's very hot and humid. And as I grip down on it and bite into it a little bit, or at least attempt to bite into it, the only thing that's really doing that is the backstrap. We have mild checkering here on the sides. It's not doing a whole lot for you. We have finger grooves, of course, with some checkering. Again, for me, it's not really doing a whole lot for me. And additionally, it does have the feature that a lot of modern guns have there, where the actual bottom of the grip is scalloped out a little bit, so that way you can grip and rip your magazine should you have a double feed malfunction. So that certainly is nice. The magazine release is not reversible. It is only on the left side. So if you guys are lefties out there, you're going to have to go with the old finger depress to drop your magazine. I don't really think that's a big deal for anyone, but it is one of the things that's different from a lot of the higher priced guns out there on the market. Of course, the slide release, slide stop, pretty darn low in terms of how it sits there on the frame. It is shielded by that little ledge below it that you guys can see there. Again, not compatible with Glocks, although it looks like it should be. It is not. It's its own unique part. And continuing forward there on the frame, we do have those 2 pins, very similar to Glock, but again, they're slightly different and not compatible. If you guys wanted to use a different locking block or something like that, you can't do so. Now, before we get into the actual trigger on the gun, we do need to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is the good folks over at 1775 Coffee. Most coffee gives you a quick hit, then leaves you jittery, foggy, and reaching for another cup before lunch. But what if your coffee actually did something for your health? Rejuvenate Coffee is science-backed coffee, real Arabica beans infused with CA-ACG, a compound shown to support cellular energy, metabolism, and even healthy aging. It's not a gimmick, it's not trendy. It's built for people who take their health seriously, who want to show up with focus and strength every single day. If you care about how you feel now and how you'll feel 10 years from now, this is your coffee. Go to 1775coffee.com/GNG and order Rejuvenate Coffee today. Code GNG will get you 15% off fuel your body, protect your future, rejuvenate. Getting back into the gun, of course, we are going to make sure that it is clear. It is. There is a loaded chamber indicator on there as well, but don't trust that. Definitely verify if you're about to pull the trigger. And basically, the trigger has a flatter shoe than the traditional Glock would, which certainly is nice, and it still has that trigger safety that we would expect. So no matter how hard you pull back on the actual trigger itself, unless you depress that safety first, it will not break. Now, again, you'll see we're going to pull this gun apart here in a little bit, and everything looks like a Glock trigger, but it feels different. It's actually heavier. So on my scale, this trigger is breaking anywhere from 6.5 to 7 pounds versus your traditional Gen 3 Glock. It's going to be right around 5 to 5.5 pounds. So there's something is different in that trigger break, but in terms of the actual experience of pulling it and how it feels very familiar, just a little heavier. So we're going to come back. You have sort of the start of a wall, and then you roll through it. So that is very Glock-like in every way. It's just heavier. But all in all, very good trigger. The reset is excellent as well. Comes back. It doesn't kick you off quite as much of the trigger. It doesn't kind of push your finger off quite as much as a Glock, a little bit less, so it's a little bit heavier. And I would say the reset is a little less forceful than a Glock in terms of trigger press. All in all, not bad though at all. Trigger guard, pretty much normal size. It has a nice undercut on there to let you get nice and high up on the gun, which certainly is nice. Do have some front serrations as well as a hook for those of you guys who shoot like that. And then of course we have 1913 rails up front for any of your lights, lasers, etc. that we have been running throughout the review with no issues. So no problem there at all with the gun. The barrel itself is just over 4 inches. I believe it's 4.17 inches long, cold hammer forged, nitrided. So in terms of all the things you look for, it's got them all. The serrations are not great. That would be something you can see it just slipped right there. That would be something that I would look to improve on. Again, I'm sweating right now because it is hot out here, but those serrations are not the best. They definitely don't give you the best grip. Of course, if you come over and use, your full grip, you can still get it even when you're sweating, but they definitely could use improvement in my opinion. And it does have that loaded chamber indicator like we mentioned previously. It would be popping up if there was a round in there, letting you know, even in the dark, the status of your firearm. Now the sights that come on this, as you guys can see, are not at all Glock compatible. These ones are unique, again, to the STR-9. I don't know why they didn't pick a more common pattern, but they didn't. And the ones that come on it are a 3-dot configuration, very common, very European of them, if you will. However, I did find one company that makes aftermarket tritium sights for it, and that was Meprolite. So I reached out to them, and they sent these sights out for the video. They make a number of different colors of the front sight, which I actually thought was kind of cool. This one is blue. I'd never used a blue tritium front sight before, but there you go. Now we have, it works just fine. Easy install on them. So if you guys are looking for night sights for your STR-9, to the best of my knowledge, the only ones that work with it are these ones here from Meprolite. Now, disassembly is exactly like a Glock. So basically, you're just going to lock it to the rear, verify that you are clear, let your slide go home, point in safe direction, pull back slightly, pull down on these 2 tabs. It'll come off. This one sticks a little bit. There you go. But yeah, looking in the actual trigger guard, rather looking at the actual trigger components, I meant to say. If you guys look in there, I mean, that is a Glock copy without being a Glock copy. Like, again, you can't drop the parts in there, but man, they were definitely more than inspired by Glock, if you will. Recoil spring on this one is steel. Again, not Glock compatible at all. And the barrel, like we already mentioned, cold hammer forged, nitrided. It appears to be very, very well finished. Has a nice wide feed ramp there for feeding hollow points, which we did run. So let's check that out real quick. We'll see how it does with some hollow points. We got it loaded up here with some 147 grain Fiocchi hollow point from our friends at Firearms Depot. And we will see. Handled it just fine. As you guys just saw, it ate those hollow points just fine. It does have a striker safety in virtually the same place as a Glock would be. And of course, our striker back there at the rear. One thing I should mention, because I mentioned that the trigger pull was a little bit heavier than a Glock, which it absolutely is that if you wanted to do the quote-unquote 25-cent Glock trigger upgrade, then with the polishing, you absolutely could do that on this. It would work totally fine based on everything I'm looking at. So that would help with the trigger a little bit. I'm not sure if there are any aftermarket triggers available for this gun. I would imagine there probably aren't, if we're just being honest. And that, of course, is just because of the price point. And reassembling it, again, just like a Glock, you just put it back on, rack the slide, and you are good to go. So with that, I think we have all the details of the actual firearm with the exception of performance so far. So let's talk about that. Right now, we have just over 500 rounds through it. The vast majority of that is Minuteman munitions. We also ran some Blazer brass from the folks over at Firearms Depot, as well as that hollow point ammo that you guys saw, the Fiocchi 147 grain. That's from Firearms Depot as well. So a mix of different ammo types, and we've had zero malfunctions of any type with this gun. It's ran 100%. I realize that to a lot of you guys out there, 500 rounds might not be a huge amount, but again, I have one magazine. And it takes a lot of time to load it, reload it over and over again. But 500 rounds is definitely more than probably, if I had to guess, probably more than 90% of people who are going to buy this gun would ever put through it because of that price point. So in terms of that, I mean, can't do any better than 100% reliability. And price point wise, now the MSRP on this is going to be 329 units of measure. We can't say prices on YouTube, of course, anymore, but whatever the units of measure are where you live, that's what it would be where I live. Again, 329 is the MSRP. Every now and then they have rebates, and every now and then they have some pretty crazy sales. I've seen this one fairly regularly under 250 units of measure. So at that price point, it's hard not to recommend. Like, there definitely are things I would like to see fixed, right? Like, I would like to see it come with 2 magazines at minimum. I'd like to see way better stippling in here. I would like to see the serrations fixed, but I mean, at that price point, you're not far off from a high point. And in terms of quality and function, this is light years ahead of that. So all in all, I mean, I think it's a good gun for the value. If you want something that is on a budget, seems fairly durable. Again, I know several people that have these guns, none of them have reported any problems with it at all. So it seems to be a fairly well-made gun for the price point. And I think that's what they were going for with it, honestly, and I think they hit it. So that's it. That's my report on the Stoeger STR-9. They have all types of cool models, like tactical versions and stuff like that. So maybe in the future, I will get one of those to continue the review process. But all in all, I mean, it does what it says it's going to do, and it seems to do it fairly well. If you guys have any questions about the gun, anything like that, you can always post those down below in the comment section. As always, you can also post them over at my various social media pages. As always, if you guys aren't following me over there, particularly the non-metal ones, I definitely recommend you do so because I can get stuff up. Like, I put a few videos of me shooting this already up across my social media, so you get previews of what's coming, all of those sorts of things. So there is that. If you guys like this video and you're not subscribed either on YouTube or Rumble, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Additionally, if you've done that and you're not seeing 2 to 4 videos a week here on the channel, you are being censored by an algorithm from my content. Easy way around that is to sign up for the email at the website here on your screen. This will get you put on 2 different email lists. One of them is going to be an email that goes out once a month, and it just has all my videos since the previous month's email went out, so that way there's no big tech giant censoring your eyes from my content. It'll also get you put on the Daily Deals email. As the name indicates, it goes out every day, and it typically has 8 to 10 of the best deals that we find around the internet, either on guns, ammo, optics, lights, lasers, extra magazines, etc. All of those sorts of things are in there. If it is in the email, whatever the item is, on a given day, it's the cheapest I know for that item on that day on the internet, because I've already done the price comparisons for you. So hopefully it saves you guys some time and saves you some money as well. Lastly, we do have an SMS list that you guys can sign up for at the website here, or by texting the number or word here on your screen that you guys see. Basically, that goes out at most once a day. It's going to have one of 2 things in it. It's either going to have a new video that just went out, once again, getting around that algorithm, or it's going to have a really smoking deal. Like, for instance, one time I sent this out in a text and it was 199 units of measure. So those sorts of things that I know are going to sell out very quickly sometimes go out in a text as well. And with that, that's all I got for you. Thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it. I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video.